Okay, for today's project I need to install the overhead light that's going to be back here in this room. And in order to do that I need to kill the power to the light that's up there now. I threw that light just kind of over the wall. It's hanging by its own cord, which you see is kind of frayed and stringy looking. That's a piece of old what you used to call post and beam wiring, and it's located, well, you can see there's the post and beam wiring stuff right there. There's one on one side and one on the other. That would be a hot wire on one side and a ground wire on the other. And my goal is to kill the power to that. Oh man, look at that. Let's see now. These two wires here aren't connected to anything, but they may still be hot. That's the thing about that stuff, you never know. I want to kill the power to that and rewire the light switch, which is in the wall right over here. That light switch that I clicked when I came in here. So first thing I got to do is figure out in this house with all the fuses and breakers I got, which one's going to kill the power to that. Yeah, and it might be this trial and error, which means I might have to run up and down the stairs throwing breakers and coming back and see if that light goes off. The other thing I could do is if I could get one of those little screw-in things. There's one right there where you can plug something into it. I could screw that in and plug that drill into it, and then I could hear it when I flip it on and off. I've got a feeling the breaker for that is going to be all the way down in the basement, but that big drill I got makes a lot of noise. So maybe if I can unscrew, get up here we can show you better, this little attachment right here that plugs into things. If I unscrew that from that, see, that works off this switch. But if I unscrew that from that, screw it into that, plug my drill into that, then I can go upstairs and throw all the breakers, and if the drill stops, I'll know I've killed it. And if it doesn't, I'll go down to the basement and start throwing breakers, and I may be able to hear that. What I could do is get a long drop cord and bring it over to the top of the stairs, plug the drill into that, and then I could hear it. That probably would save me 15-20 trips running up and down the steps. Now, I want to say this. Some of you may be thinking, well, all you got to do is throw that switch and that won't be hot anymore, like that. See, and the light goes out. Well, yeah, the light goes out, but the wires, those wires, they're still hot. The only reason that light goes out is because it takes the fire from one of those wires, runs it over to that switch, runs it back over to the light. But throwing that switch, although it kills the fire to the light, it doesn't kill the fire in all these other wires. And I'm going to be reaching over in there, disconnecting those wires, which means cutting them, and pulling that other wire that I want to use out, and all that other stuff. And the last thing I want to do, my dad used to say these wires are very safe. As long as you don't touch two, you can touch one and you can touch the other and it won't hurt you. But if you touch them both, you'll get shock therapy. Well, there ain't no way I can reach over in there without touching them both. And besides that, I don't like testing out my dad's theory, you know, the idea that you can touch one and it'd be okay. I ain't never wanted to touch one. It's kind of like that thing about sticking your tongue on a piece of frozen steel in the wintertime. I ain't never wanted to test that theory either. So, with that said, I'll stop talking. I'll cut that light out so it'll be cooling down. I'll unscrew that bulb. I'll get my drill and I'll get a drop cord. And then we'll start seeing if we can find how to kill the fire to that wire.